What's up guys, my name is Your Heroes and welcome back to more Call to Arms Gates of Hell, and today we are back with another how-to video, and today we are going to be covering positioning and all that. Not that isn't going to be all that isn't part of it, but positioning is going to be the topic that we're going to be covering today. So positioning, let's start off by saying like what is the meaning of it. So positioning in especially Gates of Hell is when you have a group of men or a mortar or anything, and you have to basically put them in a good position in a trench. So if you're putting or in a good position means that you have to put them somewhere that is in a good position, such as a trench right here, or even in cover right in this this wee area right here, or even if it's taking cover behind boxes like ammo supply trucks like right here, or supply boxes or supply trucks as well. So all of these little things right here are as useful as it can be, and it's better than no cover. So make sure, if you think that you have no cover, these boxes do actually provide, and trucks do actually provide this cover. So even though you don't have a clear line of shot, it's better putting them there than getting your men killed. So that is the meaning of positioning. Now let me go on and show you how to use it effectively and how to get it to your advantage. So let's say you have your enemy lined up all the way across here, have your enemy on the boxes here, you have your enemies back here, you have them all surrounded you, and you only have this little small area right here to defend yourself against. So I am going to get my men right here. As soon as they're highlighted, what you want to do is hover over this the trench until you see a layout of like a ghost vision of your troops, and you'll see when you hover over like that, that means it'll show you where your troops are going to position in the trench. So once you're happy with this position, you right click and you can now see that your troops will get into that position in the trench, and you are now in much better cover than you were standing right out in the open. Now this is good and all, but let's say that the enemy have now brought up a mortar, and you are now vulnerable to mortar shells, and your men are all crowded up like this. Now what you want to do is spread out your men singularly, if that makes sense. So what you want to do is, this may take a couple minutes or a couple seconds depending how quickly you do it, but basically just click over one person or one troop and right click until you show a position like this and spread them out. Hover over so basically how it goes is you press left click and it will show like a wee box like this. Go over it until you cover the whole of your soldier, and then even spread them out until you can maybe face the front, or if the enemies are coming behind you, face them like this way. And it might also be a good idea to turn your camera around, so that means you do get a better angle of where you want them to position. So in this case, I want this guy to go right here, and I do want this guy to maybe even just go up here, and maybe this guy will go right here, and then this guy will go right here. But let's say now that you have your trench fully done up, but let's say, because remember this is quite a small trench, so not everything is going to fit. So what you want to do is look for environment around you. So as you can see here, we have a very nice position right here, so you can put your men even just up here, and that will now give more room for your men to be in this trench. And as you can see, I now have a lot more room for my men to maneuver around and give them more space to work around with. Now even if they do face the wrong way, it is okay, because it's better than just dying in action and standing out in the open. So that is going to be very useful. And even if it is something as these stalks of woods here, or even what you could even do is put them in a bush right here. So that means now they're actually concealed, and if you lay them down, they're even more concealed, because what that means is this actually gives you provided cover from, like, when you're doing like a stealth mission. If you pull your enemies through the bush, you can see that the trees or the bushes will slightly move, but that's okay, because you're actually now more concealed than you are just walking or just like crawling out in the open. So if you do see a bush and you're trying to do a stealth mission, make sure you try and maybe go along a bush line where the enemies won't see you and won't get an actual shot on you. So Another quick tip for you there. Also, if you have a mortar, let's say like you do right here, you want to place them in a good cover like right here, or at least keep them as far back as possible away from the battle. So in this case, you have enemies up here and you have a mortar back here. Yes, you are more vulnerable. Your mortar is actually more vulnerable up here in here like this. Oh, as we've got a wee crazy glitch going on. No, there we go. So as you can see that now we have our guy in position, and what you want to do is actually just, if you have your troops like this, what you want to do is maybe try and advance your troops up, so that means your mortar isn't being targeted as well when your troops in this cover as well. So let's say you're kind of mowing down the enemies just now, you're doing really well, you want to push up to the nearest cover you can, which is obviously like right behind this area, and as you can see now, I can start firing away at the enemy mortar and the enemy troops which will be on this bridge, and once you destroy the bridge, boom, bada boom, bang, bang. It's done. The enemy are dead, and you can even just keep pushing up. Like I said, you can put anywhere your men in any position. This game is meant to be used tactically. These maps are meant to be used tactically. Use your environment around you. See what you can use as cover. Even if it's not most effective cover, it's still better than standing out in the open. So make sure get your men into cover as quickly as possible. And even if you're not happy with the setup, it's still better than leaving them out in the open and standing and getting themselves killed quicker. So make sure you get them in position that is happy, and then make sure you position them in the right place as well once you've kind of happy and all that. So guys, there you go. That is it for today. That is positioning in Call to Arms Gates of Hell. To be honest, it is quite simple to do. So if you're ever struggling to to where to put your men, use your men. Remember, number one, put your men in cover instantly, even if it is a trench, even if it is something like this piece of wood fence right here, it's still cover. It's better than nothing. And then if your men are getting shot by mortar, spread your men out evenly. And then if you don't have enough room in the trench, don't still crunch them up as much as possible. Pull them back to like an area like back here, or even pull them back further. So that means that your more men around in the trench can have more room to spread out. And lastly, if you're doing a stealth mission, you're better crawling in the bushes right along here, so that means they won't spot you, rather than being out in the open and then getting absolutely decimated by tanks like these. And even then, you are still vulnerable to tanks because, they're tanks and they're OP. But I have to say that if you are in a trench like this, then it does make it harder for tanks to hit you. As you can see, I'm using my KV-85 and I'm already finding this quite hard to hit my mortar. So it is, as you can see, look at that, I'm finding it already quite hard to kind of shoot my allies. But there you go, once you get a nice accurate shot, they're done for. But anyway guys, that is it for today. I hope you did enjoy that useful how-to video. If you did like this, then make sure you leave a like in this video. If you don't want to see more how-to videos, then leave a comment down below to see what other how-to videos you want me to do, because your guys' always comments are useful and amazing. So other than that guys, all the people who did subscribe will be left on the screen right now, so thank you to everybody who did subscribe. And other than that, thank you so much for watching and all your support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later and goodbye.